There, all picked up. Hello! It has been 3 days since I even looked at this pattern because I was tired and my fingers hurt and it's hot and my protein drink keeps getting all jelly-like and it's gross. So, I mean, that was all just a little too much for me to handle. So I took a few days off. But the picnic is... I have 5 days to make this dress. Hopefully it's less complicated than how it appears in the pattern. And at this point, I would be happy with it just being together. I can make it all nice and professional-ish looking after the picnic. I have my 2 clean cotton things, fabric stuff. Whoops. Turns out this is not a tablecloth. When I opened it at the store, I didn't really have a lot of room in the aisle to see it fully, but it's actually one of those bed skirts. I still like how sheer it is. I mean, sheer technically isn't the right word, but I don't know what the word is right now. Insert it here somewhere.
I'm afraid it will fray.
I can't remember if I explained it already or not, but as I was cutting out the pieces for the pattern, I realized something. What I realized was that the largest size in the pattern is a size 14, and I didn't notice that. So we're gonna be sewing a size 14. I think I can get away with it, but I mean, we'll find out if I'm wrong one way or the other. I'm just gonna go to the picnic in my 18th century underwear and not care.
So during the initial stages of this day, I sort of forgot how to bring you content by way of talking to the camera, but I managed to amuse myself in other ways, trying to give myself some motivation.
To cut out, you cut out the fabric, then take the mold, put the fabric on top, the empty shell of the button, take a little pusher, push it down, fold over the fabric. I don't know why that works, why it makes it secure, but it does work, and it's pretty easy.
I would like to say that this attempt was successful, but I finally got myself in gear the next day and started cutting out more of the pattern pieces for the gown. Gowned?
Want a nap. Cutting out tissue paper is hard. How is it that doing something so monotonous just makes one so sleepy? Alright, so I have all the pattern pieces cut out. So that's probably going to be it for at least right now. I might see you tonight, I might see you tomorrow, but I'll see you over there. So I'm just gonna exit stage left.
So, unfortunately for you and for me, after I had already finished this project, I went to remove the footage from my camera, and the technical gods had smited my SD card with a formatted disk, aka the memory was corrupted and I no longer have access to that footage. This is a little bit of a setback, but we are just gonna skip ahead from when my day went from bad to worse during this project with footage that I had already saved onto my computer.
So I thought I had the twill tape. I think it's called tape. You know what? I thought I had the twill to put through the top of this to make the bodice portion gather up, but I don't. And I really need to get this done. We're supposed to have two channels here, one here and one here, where you pull cording to make the bodice gather. Because my bust is larger than a size 14's bust, whereas everything else fits just fine, I was not able to do the bottom portion because, like I said, my bust is too big. So I just sewed it down and pressed it flat, which isn't too big of a deal because with this gathering, the rest of it will kind of gather, and I really don't care. I am trying to figure out how I am going to do this. One option is to use some elastic that I have. The other problem with that is then I won't be able to close the front like it normally would have. And it's not, you know, historically inaccurate for the front of the gown to be pinned shut, but that's not how this gown was designed. The other problem I ran across was, you know, thank God I made multiples of the very first pattern piece that I spent over an hour and a half sobbing over, because the first one was botched. The second one I did just fine. The third one I sewed on the wrong side. I, you know, made all of my raw edges and pressed them on the right side, and this material is just so delicate that pulling the stitches out literally shreds it. So I had one last piece that I could do anything with, and unfortunately it was the left side, and so I had to use the wrong side. I don't know if you can tell, there's dots on here on the right side of the material. That's what I had to do. I had to use the wrong side of the left shoulder to make it the right side in order to get it done correctly. I'm not a fan so far. Definitely 0 out of 10. And it's mostly me, not the pattern. The pattern just intimidates me. I'm going to press on. No pun intended. Because I'm just delaying. Let's move on. Good morning. I feel a little bit better as opposed to yesterday. Not as excited as I would like to be about moving on to the next page of this pattern. Kind of feels like when you're in a relationship that's starting to get serious and you're right at that precipice going, do I really want to go through with this? So what I need to do is what I said last night. I finished, where even is it? Ignore my exposed midriff. There is a reason for it. TMI, the incisions on my abdomen were a little painful this morning, and the one thing that seems to help that is for my belly to get air. So I'm definitely vibing with this 90s look. Today we're going to be cutting off the next 2 panels of the skirt. I didn't cut it all out at the beginning for 2 reasons. One, I don't have enough room on my table to cut out everything at one time. And the other reason is I just couldn't be bothered. I hope and pray that with enough perseverance and tea that I can finish the gown today. I would love to have tomorrow off, which sounds a little bit wimpy considering I have only been working on this gown for a single day and I'm over it already. In my defense, I have been sewing for like 2 weeks. My hands are swollen, my head is fuzzy, and this guy is crying. I'm gonna try to film as much as possible so that you can sort of see the process. I am by no means a professional, nor am I qualified to give any advice because I am just fudging my way through this. Be calm, there is no intruder. It is well, all is well. No panic. It is well, Bowser. All is well. There's nothing happening in the outside world. I can do it. Hi. Okay, so here is the story. I have barely enough fabric to make the skirt pieces. For the lining, I had already intended on using some other leftover material from the chemise or shift or whatever. So we have just barely enough. Ugh. Ooh. It's a close one. Look at that. Oh my god.
I reached a point where I had constructed the bodice and skirt pieces separately and they needed to be put together, but I got a little bit lost and confused as to how to do that. I think I may have lost the original markers, but I got a little bit of help from my own leading man.
I can do that, I can do that, I can do it. That's something I can do. I can do it. Do you have confidence in me? Listen to that. Oh, so proud of you right now. Since we're in the Viper Den. Well, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna press it any further. this look sexy? Are you my Mr. Darcy, Mr. Wickham, Mr. Willoughby?
I have no idea who any of them are. Sorry.
Just the Mr.
Something like that.
You should take a picture with his I Love Mr. Darcy shirt on and you in your dress. Do you see the problem here? Do you see my problem? Well, shoot. I'm glad we did this. It's so much fun.
That's all, folks.